Good morning students. Today we discuss the second growth promoter hormone. We had discussed earlier the growth hormones and we had discussed that there are 5 types of the growth hormones, in which the 3 are the growth promoter and 2 are growth inhibitors. In growth promoter, 3 main, the auxin, cytokinin and gibberellin. We are discussed earlier in previous lecture auxin. Today we discuss the second growth promoter hormone, gibberellin. Clear? In your medical exam, NEET exam 2020, we are discuss a question in the previous lecture, that the gibberellin. Which one is the responsible for the growth promoter in the sugarcane plant? So gibberellin is a growth hormone, is a growth promoter, and it increases the length of the internode. So with the spray of the gibberellin, the internode length increase in sugarcane, and then the increase their height, and so the production of the sugarcane are increase. Clear? So this is a question for medical exam in 2020. We have discussed here the one by one what the history of the gibberellin, then the chemical structure of gibberellin, then the function structure of the gibberellin, then we have discussed the physiological effect and application of the gibberellin. We discuss one by one. The first one is, the heading is the gibberellin. Gibberellin is the second growth promoter hormone. Clear? First thing, the second growth promoter hormone. Gibberellin is a growth promoter hormone. Clear? It is represented by GA3. It is represented by GA3 is a common, or we can say GA, or we can say GA. Gibberellin acid is known as a gibberellic acid. Gibberellin is known as a chemically gibberellic acid, so it is represented by GA. First of all, the Japanese farmer observed where they discovered the gibberellin, to Japan. The gibberellin is discovered in Japan. First of all, in Japan, the farmers are observed that their rice plant are elongated in size. So we can say that first of all, Japanese farmer observed the peculiar system, ajeeb se, peculiar symptoms in rice is called the back-end disease, known as the back-end disease. It is known as the foolish सीडलिंग डिजीज. ठीक है. सबसे पहले जापानीज जो है फार्मर थे, उन्होंने ऑब्जर्व किया कि उनमें जो राइस के प्लांट थे, राइस के प्लांट की जो हाइट थी जनरली कितनी होती है, 2 से 3 फीट होती है मैक्सिमम, आजकल तो और भी छोटे होते हैं. द राइस प्लांट हाइट इंक्रीज, उनकी हाइट क्या हो गई, इंक्रीज हो गई, एंड द प्रोडक्शन आर डिक्रीज, प्रोडक्शन डिक्रीज हो गया. ठीक है. जिससे क्या हुआ, हाइट इंक्रीज से प्रोडक्शन नहीं हुआ. यू नो वेरी वेल, मैंने बताया हुआ आपको मॉर्फोलॉजी में, द टिलेज, व्हेन द प्लांट हाइट इंक्रीज द टिलेज इंक्रीज. राइस, बार्ले, वीट, इनमें क्या होता है बच्चों, ईयर निकलती है. जो सीड होते हैं उसे बोलते हैं ईयर, हिंदी में बोला जाता है बाली, कहते हैं गेहूँ की बाली, दैट इज ईयर. तो जितने ज़्यादा टिलेज होंगे, जितने ज़्यादा इसमें स्टेम्स होंगे, हर एक स्टेम से एक टिलेज निकलती है. व्हेन द नंबर ऑफ द स्टेम इंक्रीज, द ब्रांचेस इंक्रीज, the number of the ear increase, and each ear contain the 10 to 20 seeds, so the number of seed increase, so production increase. But when the tillage is absent and the length of the stem is increased, so the production is decreased, because when the length increase, so the tillage is absent, few branches are present, and then the few branches are formed, the few ears, so these ear contain the seeds, the production of the rice, wheat, barley, these plants are decreased. Clear? As we can explain here, generally हमारे पास जो गेहूँ के पौधे होते हैं, राइस के पौधे हैं, वो ऐसे होते हैं बच्चों, इस टाइप से होते हैं. ये जो कंडीशन होती है, दैट नोन एज द टिलेज, क्या बोलते हैं इसको, टिलेज बोलते हैं. तो इसमें हर पे ऊपर एक ईयर निकलती है लाइक दिस, ये ईयर होती है, चाहे वो राइस के अंदर हो, चाहे बार्ले में हो, चाहे वीट में हो, ऐसे ये निकलती हैं. तो जितनी ज़्यादा ईयर्स होंगी उतना ही प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज होगा. सो यू नो वेरी वेल, जैसा एम एस स्वामीनाथन आपने पढ़ा था, एनोरेंटेंजीन, तो ये ड्राफ्ट वैराइटीज डेवलप की थी, क्लियर। लेकिन अगर इसकी लेंथ, अगर इसी प्लांट की लेंथ है वो इंक्रीज हो जाए, ऐसे हो जाए, और ओनली 1 या 2 टिलेज हो ऐसे, तो अब मुझे बताइए इन दोनों में से प्रोडक्शन किसमें ज़्यादा होगा, इसमें या इसमें? इसमें ओनली 2 ईयर्स है, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, यहाँ कितनी है, 8 ईयर्स है, ठीक है। अगर मैं सीड्स की बात करता हूँ, ईच ईयर कंटेन 20 सीड्स, अगर मिनिमम बात करें 20 सीड्स, तो यहाँ पर 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, तो यहाँ हो सकता है 20 सीड मल्टीप्लाई 8, और हेयर 20 सीड मल्टीप्लाई 2. So in this condition the production increase, yield increase, but in this condition the yield decrease. Clear? So these plants are increase production with the help of the draft varieties. But in Japanese, farmer observe that the rice plant increase their height and the tillage decrease. There are no particular seed form in the, so production is decrease. Clear? सो उन्होंने क्या कहा, इस डिजीज़ को क्या नाम दिया, बैकेन डिजीज़. क्या नाम दिया, बैकेन. इन जापानीज भाषा में कहा गया. बैकेन मीन्स होता है फुलिस, मूर्ख. क्या कहा गया, मूर्ख. इंसान ही मूर्ख नहीं होते, प्लांट ही मूर्ख होते हैं बच्चों. सो इट इज नोन बैकेन डिजीज और इट इज फुलिस सीडलिंग डिजीज. इट मीन्स जो प्लांट है, सीडलिंग्स है, दे इंक्रीज देयर लेंथ. ठीक है, क्या हुआ, दे इंक्रीज देयर लेंथ, पर प्रोडक्शन डिक्रीज हो रहा है. तो इट इज नोन एज द बैकेन डिजीज इन जापानीज जो लैंग्वेज, बट इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज वी कैन से द फुलिस सीडलिंग डिजीज. ठीक है, पादप भी मूर्ख होते हैं, इंसान तो होते ही मानते हैं, पादप भी मूर्ख हो जाते हैं. दवा अब क्या हुआ इसके अंदर, इस व्हाट इज द फीचर ऑफ दिस डिजीज, इन दिस डिजीज द प्लांट बिकम थिन. क्या हो गया, थिन हो गया. टॉल, लंबा हो गया. पेल, पेल मतलब पीले कलर का हो गया. ड्यू टू द इन्फेक्शन ऑफ द जिबेला एंड फ्यूजेरियम फंजाई. जिबेला एंड फ्यूजेरियम फंजाई. तो पहले तो फार्मर ने डिजीज देखा, ये डिजीज हो गई. व्हेन द साइंटिस्ट आर डिस्कवर्ड, साइंटिस्ट ने डिस्कवरी की स्टार्ट की उसकी, ऐसा क्यों हुआ, देन दे आर ऑब्जर्व दैट there are two fungus are responsible for this disease, Zibelline and Fusarium, and it is confirmed that these fungus are the causes of this disease by the two scientists known their name is Kurosawa and Swida. This question for the medical exam, who confirmed that Zibelline and Fusarium are cause the Becken disease. That answer is the Kurosawa and Swida. They are two scientists. Those are confirmed that the Becken disease are caused by the Zibella and Fusarium. Clear? The Zibella, for medical question, Zibella are belong to which class of fungi? And Fusarium are which class to fungi? We discussed in the 11th class. We discussed this 2 point in 11th class in anatomy, in diversity fungi. So we explain here that Zibella is the member of a genus of the Ascomycetes. It is a member of the Ascomycetes. What is the name of the Ascomycetes? Nickname of Ascomycetes, sac fungi. Sac. ठीक है, Ascomycetes. And the Fusarium, second one is Fusarium. Fusarium is the member of the Deuteromycetes, imperfect fungi. Ascomycetes is known as the nickname is sac fungi. Sac fungi. And Deuteromycetes is known as the imperfect. Clear? So it is the history. First Japanese farmer observed the symptoms of the rice plant in the abnormal system. These symptoms, what are the symptoms? The thin, tall and pale rice plants, and they give a name, the Becken disease. Kurosawa and Sueda firstly discovered and confirmed that this disease is caused by the two fungi, that is the Gibberella and Fusarium. Gibberella is the member of the Ascomycetes, it is known as the sac fungi, and the Fusarium is the member of the Deuteromycetes. Deuteromycetes is the imperfect fungi. Clear? Then we discuss the Yabuta and Sumeki. This is another question for the medical exam, very important question. Yabuta and Sumeki. These are the two scientists. They firstly isolated a crystallized form of the gibberellin are obtained. So, Yabuta and Sumeki were the first to extract a crystalline substance from the Gibberella fusariae fungus. Gibberella fusariae. The fungus name is, complete name is Gibberella fusariae, and which is by the name as the gibberellin, और इसको नाम क्या दिया? Gibberellin. What is the name of the gibberellin? On the basis of the genus of the fungus, the name of the gibberellin. The Yabuta and Sumeki, they accept the crystalline form of the gibberellin, and this extract is known as the gibberellin. Okay, it is a chemical compound, and this chemical compound is chemically known as the gibberellic acid. Clear? Gibberellin increase. What are the role of the gibberellin? This gibberellin, this chemical, this extract gibberellin increase the length of the internode in plants. Clear? The Yabuta and Sumeki, they isolate this gibberellin and then they spray on the healthy plants, then they obtain that the length of the plant is increased. So it is proved that the gibberellin is increase the length of the plant due to the enhancement increment in the internode. It is increase the it is not increase the length of the node, it increase the length of the internode. Clear? Then we discuss the chemical nature of the gibberellin. Chemical nature of gibberellin. Clear? So chemically gibberellin is known as the gibberellic acid, Ga. Chemically the gibberellin is known as the gibberellic acid, In the short form is known as the Ga, represented by Ga. The formula of gibberellic acid is the C19H26O6. At this formula is the Ga3. It is the formula of Ga3. अब आपके पास क्वेश्चन आ होगा, सर आप कुछ जगह लिख रहे हो Ga और कुछ लिख रहे हो Ga3 क्या है? ओके, जनरली वी आर रिप्रेजेंट द Ga. gibberellic acid is represented by Ga. हर जगह gibberellic लिखा होता है, वहाँ Ga हो सकता है. प्लस मेन सिंबल, द representation of the Ga by the Ga3. Ga3 is a type of the gibberellic acid and it represent the Ga. Clear? तो दोनों ही सही प्लीज है. It is in the acidic nature. कैसा होता है ये? Acidic in nature होगा and possess the Gibbon ring structure. In their chemical structure, chemical diagram, you can say it contains Gibbon ring. It contains the Gibbon ring. Clear? Present time 100 type of the gibberellic acid. How many? 100 type. 100 type जो है, sorry, 100 type. Present time the 100 type gibberellins are discovered and these are known as in a sequence Ga1, Ga2, Ga3, Ga4 and continue Ga100. Clear? These gibberellic acids are nomenclature with the help of Ga1, 2, 3, 4 and up to 100. Clear? Ga3, this one is the Ga3. Ga3 is the representative of the all gibberellins. Clear? It's a question for the medical exam. It is also another question of medical exam. Ga3, which one is the representative? Which gibberellic acid represent the gibberellins? Ga3. Option में G1, G2, G3 कुछ भी हो सकता है, पर Ga3 is the representative of the gibberellic acid. Clear? A gibberellin hormone. GA is found, gibberellic acid is found in the all group of the plants. Gibberellin is present in the all type of group of plants, algae, gibberellin is present, fungi, gibberellin present, brio, tedo, gymno and angio. All type of the plants, the gibberellin is present, but their amount of gibberellin in the different ways. The amount of gibberellin in the different type of the plants, clear, present the all type of plants, but in the flowering here mentioned, but as in a flowering hormone, but as a flowering hormone means they produce the flower in only in angiosperm, because angiosperm are flowering plants. So in the angiosperm plants it increases the length of the internode, but in the few plants they increase the flowering, they increase the femaleness. That is the effect of the gibberellin. Clear? So what is the gibberellin? How it discovered? What is the vacant disease? Yeah, Felice-Riedling disease. Who discovered that the Gibberella and Fusarium are cause the disease? A question from medical exam. Gibberella are related with the class of the fungi, the Ascomycetes. Yabuta estomachy, the firstly crystallized the gibberellin from the Gibberella fusicori, and then chemical nature GA3 represented by the gibberellin 100 type gibberellin are discovered, and it is found in the all type of the plants in a different amount, but in the flowering plants, for the flowering it is responsible in the only angiosperm. Clear? I think you understand. So please note down.
So friends, it is the structure of the gibberellin. There are two diagrams of the gibberellin. It is the first diagram, it is second diagram. As you wish, you write any one of the both of it. It is the easiest. I think it is the easiest as compared to this diagram. In your module, this diagram is present, but in the some books, in your Rajasthan board books, this diagram is given. In NCERT, there no diagram is given of the particular growth hormone, but in your module this diagram is given, and in Rajasthan board book this diagram is given. You prepare this diagram. So it is easy diagram and it is typical diagram. If you it's your choice, it is your choice which diagram are yours suitable. So these diagram, both diagram, this one same diagram, and the presentation is different type. But these two diagrams are the gibberellic acid. It is gibberellic acid Ga3 and it is gibberellic acid Ga3. Here the formula is same, C19H26O6. It is the formula of the Ga3. Clear? In those diagram, both diagram, this structure is present here. That known as Zibben-Welle. This is known as the Zibben-Welle. Zibben ring is present. This is known as Zibben-Welle, a Zibben ring. This is known as the Zibben ring at present. हिंदी में बोलते हैं Zibben Welle, या अंग्रेजी में बोलेंगे Zibben Welle. The Zibben Welle is present here. That is known as the gibberellic acid, a gibberellic acid. So in the medical exam, the question is the Zibben ring are present which growth hormone? The Zibben ring, it means gibberellin. Clear? Next, few points here. The first reported gibberellin in the higher plants, not fungus. Ga3 is reported in fungus, but in the present in the higher plants, the Ga1 is the first reported higher plants. So here we have mentioned the higher plant. First gibberellic acid, gibberellin in the higher plant reported in known as the Ga1. Known as the Ga1, and most commonly present two types gibberellic acid are present inside the higher plants, that known as Ga first and Ga20. It means common. Clear? That is a question for the medical exam. Both in higher plant, which gibberellin is present commonly? The answer is Ga1. When the option the both type present GA1 and GA20, so commonly in higher plants the GA1 and GA20 are present. Clear? Gibberellin present in the old type of the plant. We discuss the gibberellin acid is present. Gibberellin acid is gibberellin hormone present in the old type of the plants like algae, fungi, bio, pteros, gymno, and angio. It present in the old type of the plants. For example, algae, fungi, bio, pteros, gymno, and angio. Clear? Fungi also contain gibberellin, but fungi is not included in the plant. So we are here the fungi it ran different way, but in plants the algae to angiosperm. So algae, bio, ptero, gymno, angio. Clear? These are included in the plants, and fungi is not included in the plants. Fungi are included in the next kingdom, fungal kingdom, fungi kingdom. Clear? Next, here the biosynthesis of gibberellin take place by malonic acid pathway. It is a very important question. In auxin, we discussed that the tryptophan is the precursor of the auxin. Tryptophan is the precursor of auxin, and zinc is required. So different type and successful coenzyme are required. So according to these biosynthesis, we can it is known as biosynthesis of the auxin, biosynthesis of gibberellin. So in the biosynthesis of the gibberellin take place by the malonic acid pathway. It is the pathway for the formation of the hormone known as the malonic acid pathway, and the precursor of the gibberellin is the kaolin. The precursor of the auxin is tryptophan, and the precursor of the gibberellin is kaolin. Clear? What is the kaolin? It is a terpene. It is a terpene. And your NCERT book, it is given a terpene. A terpene compound are make the gibberellic acid. So that is it present in the NCERT. It present in the NCERT. It means ZA is a terpene compound. ZA is a terpene compound. Clear? It is a derivative of the terpenes. Clear? So we can say the structure of the gibberellin. First thing, then the first represented in the higher plant GA1, most commonly present in the GA1 and GA20, and the biosynthesis is important for the malonic acid pathway, precursor, RNA, and according to NCERT, the terpene is the initial compound of the gibberellic acid. Clear? So you mention this diagram in the chemical structure of the gibberellin. Clear? The chemical nature of the gibberellin. Okay? So please note it.
Good morning, students. Today we discuss the next question of the unit first, subjective question of unit first. In previous lecture, we are discussed about 21 question. Today, we start with the question number 22. Here, the question number 22. Clear? In your paper, the question is define the polyembryony with suitable example. Define the polyembryony with a suitable example. Dear students, polyembryony on the basis of their name, it is very easily defined. Poly means more than one, embryony means embryo. It is simple definition, more than one embryo in a seed known as the polyembryony. Clear? More than one embryo present in a seed is known as the polyembryony. Clear? And polyamnion first discovered by the Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek and citrus family. Citrus family members, particularly lemon, orange, etc. Clear? Polyamnion also found in the mango varieties. In some mango varieties, the polyamnion also found. But the Leeuwenhoek discovered the polyamnion in the citrus family member, particularly orange and lemon. In polyamnion, the functional embryo are formed. Functional embryo is formed inside embryo sac. Clear? But outside the embryo sac, embryo also develop. Clear? Inside the embryo sac, no functional embryo form generally, but in some cases the outside the embryo sac by nucleus cells and integument cells are also formed the embryo, and the more than one embryo present. Clear? And the polyamnion are developed due to the two reasons. First, due to the cleavage. Cleavage due to the cleavage. Clear? Cleavage in zygote. Zygote. Second reason is the adventive embryonic, in which other than the embryo sac, the other part of the embryo ovule or make the embryo like diplospory, like other type conditions, are known as the integument, nucleus. These are known as the zygote. Clear? Polyamnion, definition of polyamnion, who discovered the polyamnion, that is the definition, and types of the polyamnion: zygotic, cleavage, and adventive embryonic, known as the type of the polyamnion. Clear? Next question is 23. Question number 23 is explain pollen and pollen product. Explain pollen and pollen product. Students, first we discuss the pollen, then we discuss the pollen product. First we discuss the pollen. Pollen is the immature male gametophyte. Clear? First, it represents the male gamete. In a dicot plant, the pollen are released in the two cell condition. And in monocot plant, it released in the 3 nuclei condition. You know very well, when the pollen anther mature, the pollen are released and the pollen grain are released in the 2 cell stage and 3 cell stage. So in this condition we are explaining by diagram. It is a pollen grain and then the exine and entine, and here 2 cells are present. It is known as the VC, it is known as the GC, vegetative cell, and second is the generative cell. Clear? And in monocot plants, when we are discuss here, the 3 nuclei are present, a large nuclei and 2 small nuclei are present here. So we can say 3 cell stage are present here, the VN, and these two are known as the MN, vegetative nucleus, and second is the male nucleus, 3 stage. Clear? Second, on the basis of the structure, surface structure, the pollen grain are different types. The exine pattern of the pollen grain are different type. In exine pattern may be spine in the China rose, in the ladyfinger, in the cotton, they may be reticulate, they may be smooth, and different type of the structure present inside the outside the exine. On the basis of the deposition of the pollen grain, the exine are different types. So pollen grain structure are different type. Clear? Second is on the basis of the pollination, the pollen grain are different type. Air pollinated pollen grains are the light in weight and small in size and large in number. Insect pollinated pollen grains are the sticky in nature because pollen is present, and they may be sticky and contain the pollen kit. Second, third number, the aquatic plant, hydroponic plants, the pollen grains are the ribbon-like structures. They are long as ribbon-like structures, in like a Zostera and other plants. Clear? Certophyllum. So these are the different type of the pollen grain are present. Clear? Okay. Next one is the pollen product. Generally, the pollen product, we are discussing only one thing, the pollen tablet and pollen syrup. But the pollen product, we are discussing 3 points here. First one is the pollen tablet. Pollen tablet and syrup. Because the pollen grains are rich for the nutrient, rich of nutrient, so they are directly utilized for the nutrition in the Western countries, and generally the racer, horse and the athletes utilize this nutrition of these pollen tablets and pollen syrup. Second one is the pollen allergy. Okay. The pollen grain of some plants are cause the allergy in the human being. Generally, the Parthenium is the biggest pollen allergen on the world. Clear? In the world, Parthenium pollen grains are causes the maximum pollen allergy in the human being, and they causes the bronchitis, respiratory disorders, asthma, a different type of disease. And in India, the Parthenium as well as the second one is the Amaranthus are the pollen allergens. Clear? Third is the pollen preservation. Pollen preservation, it means minus 196 degree centigrade. We know cryopreservation. It means liquid nitrogen, and liquid nitrogen we are preserve the pollen grains in minus 196 degree centigrade, that known as the cryopreservation, and these pollen grains are preserved for the plant breeding method. When we are in plant breeding process, we utilize these progeny and make the hybrid species of the variety of the particular plants. Clear? That is question number 23. Then question number 24. Question number 24 is define the oviparous and viviparous animals with example. So dear students, you know very well the oviparous and second one is the viviparous. Very simple. Ovi मतलब ovum. Those organisms produce the egg for their production are known as the oviparous. Clear? So egg laying, we can say very simple language, we can say egg laying organism. Egg laying organism are known as the oviparous, and these egg is covered with a covering known as the CaCO3 covering. The egg is covered with a calcareous shell. It is made of the calcium carbonate CaCO3. Clear? So those organisms are produce the egg are known as the oviparous organism, and these are birds, reptiles, amphibians, all are the laying egg. They are the oviparous animal. Second one is the viviparous. Clear? It means directly infant, सीधे बच्चों जन्म देते हैं. Directly make the infants after the delivery, and they deliver a baby, that known as the viviparous. सीधे बच्चों को जन्म देने वाले. तो कौन कौन आते हैं? मैमल्स. कोई सी मैमल को देख लीजिए आप, गाय, भैंस, भेड़, बकरी, मनुष्य, all the animals, they are produce the infant, or we can say baby directly after during the maturation period, the pregnancy period of the different type of organism, different type of the mammals in different way. In human being it is 9 months, and clear. So these are known as the viviparous. So human being is a viviparous animal, because human being, the fertilization of the inside of the body, and then placenta form, and the ovum, development of the zygote and embryo, make the infant inside the female body with the and it provides the nutrition. Female body provides the nutrition of the baby with the help of the placenta. Clear? That known as the viviparous type of the animals. An example, mammals. Clear? Mammals, human beings, all the viviparous. Clear? Next question, students. Question number 25. The question is the external and internal fertilization. The question is the external and internal fertilization with example. External fertilization it means the fertilization occur outside. It means the fertilization occur outside the female body, known as the external fertilization. The most common example is the frog. Frog the female laying the egg and the male release the sperm, and both are make in a combination form, and then they fertilize. Clear? The survivalness of the progeny is very less in external fertilization, so the number of the ovum and sperm is very high in the external fertilization. Second one is internal fertilization. Internal fertilization. It means fertilization process occur inside the female body. The fertilization occurs inside the female body, known as the internal fertilization, and in this type of fertilization the survivalness is very high, so the progeny survivalness is very high, so the number of the ovum and sperm is less number as compared to external fertilization. Clear? And the example of this fertilization is the mammals, magnum, and plants, etc. So in this process, internal fertilization, the survivalness of progeny rate is very high, so the number of the sperm and ovum is less number as compared to external fertilization. Clear? So these are the question 25, and please note down.